Self-imposed blockade, 3 tankers, 1 strait. Saudi Arabia just closed the Red Sea. June 8, 2026, 4:22 local time. Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the choke point connecting Red Sea to Gulf of Aden, width at narrowest point 20 miles. Strategic importance 6.2 million barrels of oil daily, 12% of global maritime trade. Irreplaceable connector between Europe and Asia via Suez Canal. This morning it's blocked, not by enemy action, by Saudi Arabia itself. 3 aging oil tankers, VLCC, very large crude carriers, each 330 meters long. Displacement 300,000 tons fully loaded. These vessels are expendable, scheduled for scrapping. Saudi Arabia found different use. The tankers were positioned overnight. Precise coordinates, maximum disruption. Then Saudi Navy scuttled them, deliberately, opened sea valves, flooded compartments. The ships settled to the bottom in the narrowest section of the strait. 3 massive hulks now block 70% of the navigable channel. Remaining passage, 6 miles wide. Shallow, rocky, dangerous. Only smaller vessels can transit safely. Large tankers, container ships, bulk carriers, all forced to stop or reroute around Africa, adding 14 days and $2 million per voyage. Saudi Arabia just weaponized geography, 1 strait, 6.2 million barrels per day. Would you sacrifice your own economy to deny the enemy? This is Red Sea Doctrine at its most desperate, when self-destruction becomes strategy. The announcement. Ezra 6 hour GMT. Riyadh issues official statement. Terse. Uncompromising. Final. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has taken necessary measures to secure national interests in Bab el-Mandeb Strait. Houthi forces operating from Yemen's western coast pose unacceptable threat to commercial shipping and Saudi maritime security. Until threat is neutralized, passage through strait will be restricted, alternative routes available. Kingdom regrets inconvenience but prioritizes security. The language is diplomatic, the action is radical. Saudi Arabia admits blocking international waterway, claims security justification, offers no timeline for reopening. International law is murky here. Bab el-Mandeb is international strait. Freedom of navigation applies. But Saudi Arabia isn't preventing passage completely, just making it dangerous and limited. Legal scholars will debate for years. Meanwhile, the strait is blocked. The real reason is strategic desperation. Yemen war has dragged 8 years. Houthi forces control western Yemen. They've launched hundreds of attacks on Saudi territory, missiles, drones, cross-border raids, recently escalated. Last month, Houthi anti-ship missiles struck 2 Saudi tankers in Red Sea, both damaged. 1 crew member killed. Insurance rates for Saudi shipping spiked 400%. Some vessels stopped transiting Red Sea entirely. Saudi oil exports depend on Red Sea route. 80% of Saudi crude goes through Bab el-Mandeb to Asia and Europe. The kingdom has alternative pipeline to Red Sea port of Yanbu. Capacity 5 million barrels daily, but that's less than current exports. And Yanbu facilities are vulnerable too. Saudi Arabia faces unacceptable situation, cannot protect shipping in Red Sea, cannot eliminate Houthi threat, cannot accept ongoing losses. So Riyadh chose scorched earth. If we cannot safely use the strait, nobody can. Block it. Force everyone to reroute. Remove Houthi target opportunities. Inflict economic pain on everyone until international community pressures Houthis to stop. Radical logic, desperate strategy, catastrophic consequences. Who controls Bab el-Mandeb now? A. Saudi Arabia through blockade. B. Houthis through threat. C. Nobody. And that's the problem. Right now, answer is C. The strait is unusable. The economic cascade. First 6 hours, confusion. Ship captains approaching Bab el-Mandeb receive warnings. Navigational hazards, sunken vessels, passage restricted. Some attempt transit through narrow channel, risky. Several ships succeed, others turn back, not worth the danger. By noon, 37 vessels are holding position, waiting for clarity. More arriving every hour. Shipping companies convene emergency meetings, calculate costs. Rerouting via Cape of Good Hope adds 6,000 nautical miles. At 15 knots average speed, that's 17 extra days. Fuel cost, additional 2.2 million per vessel. Time cost, delivery delays, contract penalties, customer dissatisfaction. Port fees. Cape Town and Durban charge premium for unexpected traffic. Insurance. War risk coverage now applies to Red Sea completely. Rates triple. For some cargo, rerouting is impossible. Perishable goods, refrigerated containers, food shipments, medicine, time-sensitive materials. These either risk the narrow passage or cancel shipments. Within 24 hours, 14 shipping lines announce Red Sea route suspension. All vessels reroute around Africa. Immediate effect. Suez Canal traffic drops 62%. Egypt loses 14 million daily in canal fees. By day 3, economic damage spreads. European ports face delays. Asian manufacturers miss shipments. Retail supply chains break. Just-in-time inventory models collapse. Empty shelves appear in some stores. Oil markets panic. 6.2 million barrels daily just got blocked. That's 7% of global oil supply facing disruption. Crude prices jump $38 per barrel in 48 hours. Brent crude hits $147, highest since 2022. Natural gas follows. LNG tankers from Qatar to Europe transit Bab el-Mandeb. Rerouting adds massive cost. European gas prices spike 89%. According to energy market analysis, sustained blockade could push global economy into recession. Oil at $150 per barrel. Shipping costs doubled. Supply chain chaos. Inflation accelerates. Central banks face impossible choices. The blockade hasn't even lasted a week, but damage is already severe. Red Sea Doctrine principle. Choke points are economic weapons. Saudi Arabia just proved it. The international response. Washington reacts with fury. State Department summons Saudi ambassador. Secretary of State delivers message. Blocking international strait is unacceptable. Violates freedom of navigation. Damages global economy. United States demands immediate removal of sunken vessels. Saudi response is calm. We acted to protect our national security. When Houthi threat is eliminated, Strait will reopen. We welcome international assistance in achieving that goal. Translation: help us win Yemen war, then we'll unblock the Strait. White House faces dilemma. Saudi Arabia is ally, major oil supplier, strategic partner, but this action damages American interests, forces no-win choice. Support Saudi blockade and accept economic damage. Oppose Saudi blockade and fracture alliance. President chooses middle path. Condemn the blockade. Offer to mediate Yemen conflict. Pressure Houthis through Iran. Unsatisfying to everyone. European Union is more direct. Emergency session produces resolution. Demands immediate Strait reopening. Threatens sanctions against Saudi Arabia. Offers economic support for Yemen peace process. Saudi Arabia ignores threats. EU has little leverage. Europe needs Saudi oil more than Saudi Arabia needs European goodwill. China sees opportunity. Beijing offers to clear sunken vessels. Has salvage capability. Deep water lifting equipment. Could remove blockage in 6 weeks. Price: commercial concessions. Increased oil shipments to China. Discounted pricing. Saudi Arabia considers. United Arab Emirates tries mediation. Abu Dhabi has good relations with both Saudi Arabia and international community. Proposes compromise, partial clearing. Remove one vessel, allow limited traffic, reduce pressure. Saudi Arabia refuses full blockage or nothing. Half measures don't create leverage. Yemen's Houthi leadership celebrates. Saudi blockade proves they are desperate. We continue legitimate resistance. International community must pressure Riyadh to end aggression against Yemen. Iran backs Houthis. Saudi action demonstrates failure of military approach. Dialogue is only solution. Iran ready to facilitate. The geopolitical lines are drawn. Everyone has position. Nobody has solution. Is this self-destruction or strategic genius? Comment Y or N. The humanitarian crisis. Day 7. The blockade's secondary effects emerge. Yemen depends on imports for 90% of food, 80% of medicine, nearly all fuel. Those imports transit Bab el-Mandeb, now blocked. Humanitarian organizations sound alarm. UN World Food Program warns Yemen faces catastrophic food shortage. Existing supplies last 3 weeks. Blockade must end immediately. International Red Cross reports medical supply crisis. Hospitals in Yemen running low on essential medicines. Dialysis treatments ending. Chemotherapy interrupted. Surgical supplies depleted. Saudi Arabia responds. Humanitarian shipments will be allowed through narrow channel. Under Saudi Navy escort, commercial traffic remains blocked. First humanitarian convoy attempts transit. June 15th. 4 cargo ships. Food, medicine, fuel. Saudi frigates provide escort. All vessels navigate successfully through narrow passage. But process is slow, careful. Only 4 ships per day can transit safely. Normal traffic, 40 ships daily. The math doesn't work. Humanitarian needs exceed limited capacity. Meanwhile, commercial pressure builds. 317 vessels now rerouted around Africa. 42 ships still holding position near Bab el-Mandeb, hoping for resolution, losing money every day. Insurance companies calculate losses. First week, $8 billion in delayed cargo value. Extra fuel costs, $840 million port delay fees, $156 million lost perishable goods, $1.2 billion total, over $10 billion 1 week, 1 blocked strait, $10 billion in damage, and counting. The military option. Day 10. International patience exhausted. France proposes military solution. Clear the blockade by force. Saudi Arabia has no right to block international waterway. If they won't remove obstacles, we will. French Navy can deploy salvage vessels, heavy lift ships, underwater cutting equipment, could remove sunken tankers in 4 weeks, but requires Saudi cooperation or military action to secure area. UK supports French position. Royal Navy offers assistance. Task force could deploy within days. United States hesitates. Attacking ally is problematic, even if ally is wrong. NATO is divided. Some members support clearing operation. Others oppose confrontation with Saudi Arabia. No consensus. China and Russia oppose any military action. Sovereign nation acting within its rights. International community should respect Saudi security concerns. Their opposition isn't about law, it's about Western power projection. Preventing it serves their interests. Saudi Arabia issues warning. Any attempt to remove blockage without our permission will be considered hostile act. We will defend our territorial waters. The threat is clear. Force could trigger combat. French warships versus Saudi Navy. Unthinkable scenario becoming possible. Meanwhile, back-channel negotiations intensify. U.S. mediates between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Topic: Yemen ceasefire. Saudi demands Houthis stop all attacks on Saudi territory and shipping. Withdraw from western Yemen coast. Accept monitored peace. Houthi counter-demands end Saudi airstrikes. Lift all blockades. Recognize Houthi political legitimacy. Positions remain far apart. No breakthrough. The blockade continues. What breaks first? International patience, Saudi resolve, or global economy? The turning point. Day 16. Economic pressure reaches critical level. Global oil at $160 per barrel. Recession warnings from IMF. Stock markets down 22%. Political pressure on leaders worldwide. Then breakthrough, not diplomatic, economic. Saudi Arabia's own economy is suffering. Oil exports dropped 40%. Revenue collapsed. Budget deficits exploding. Vision 2030 development projects halting. The blockade is costing Riyadh 600 million daily. Unsustainable, even for wealthy kingdom. Meanwhile, alternative routes developing. Tankers rerouting through Suez. Egypt offers discounts. Traffic increases. Some shippers discovering Cape route isn't terrible. Longer but reliable. No war risk. Saudi Arabia's leverage is evaporating. If everyone adapts to blockade, then blockage loses value. Empty threat. Riyadh faces strategic failure. Blocked strait. Damaged economy. No resolution to Yemen war. International condemnation. No gains. June 24th. Secret negotiations between Saudi Arabia and UN. Mediator proposes. Saudi Arabia allows full traffic resumption. UN establishes monitoring mission for Yemen coast. Houthis commit to shipping lane security. International donors fund Yemen reconstruction. Face-saving formula. Everyone can claim something. Saudi Arabia agrees conditionally. Wants guarantees, security commitments, verification. June 28th. Joint statement announced. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and United Nations reach agreement on Bab el-Mandeb security framework. Strait will reopen to commercial traffic. International monitoring deployed. Yemen peace process accelerated. Details are vague. Implementation unclear, but signal is strong. The blockade is ending. The salvage operation. July 1st. International salvage fleet arrives. Dutch heavy lift vessels. Chinese underwater cutting equipment. Norwegian maritime engineering. Under UN coordination. All paid by international fund. Saudi Arabia contributes nothing. First tanker removal begins July 3rd. Process is complex. Cut vessel into sections. Lift each piece. Transport to deep water. Sink in designated area. Estimated timeline, 8 weeks for all 3 vessels. Partial reopening possible in 4 weeks. By July 29th, first tanker cleared. Navigable channel widens to 12 miles. Large vessels can transit carefully. Traffic resumes. Slowly, cautiously, but resuming. Insurance rates drop. Still elevated but improving. Oil prices retreat from $163 to $134 in 2 weeks. Still high, but declining. Supply chains restart. Delayed shipments move. Inventory rebuilds. Crisis easing. By September 4th, all 3 tankers removed. Bab el-Mandeb fully open. Traffic returns to normal. Sort of. New normal includes UN monitoring stations, Saudi Navy patrols, Houthi commitments to avoid shipping, international observers. Tension persists, but violence reduced. Yemen peace talks continue. Progress is minimal, but talking beats fighting. The blockade ended at enormous cost. The doctrine lesson. Red Sea Doctrine teaches strategic choke points are double-edged swords. Saudi Arabia blocked Bab el-Mandeb to deny enemies and pressure international community. But choke point blockage damages everyone, including blocker. 51 days of blockade cost global economy $280 billion. Cost Saudi Arabia $31 billion in lost oil revenue. Cost Egypt $680 million in canal fees. Cost shipping industry $47 billion. Cost importers uncounted billions. For what gain? Modest pressure on Houthis. Some international attention to Yemen. Temporary tactical advantage, but strategic loss. Saudi Arabia demonstrated desperation, showed weakness, damaged credibility. The lesson: choke point denial is weapon of last resort because it destroys indiscriminately. User and target both suffer. Final assessment: 3 tankers sunk, 51 days blocked, $280 billion economic damage, 0 strategic victory. The Bab el-Mandeb blockade proved that controlling Chokepoint isn't same as benefiting from control. Saudi Arabia controlled the Strait through blockage, but lost more than gained. Sometimes the power to destroy is not power at all. Will other nations attempt Chokepoint blockades? Will Bab el-Mandeb face future closures? Will desperation drive more self-destructive strategies? These questions haunt strategic planners. Subscribe to Sea Doctrine, where sea power decides everything. The next Chokepoint crisis is already brewing. The next desperate measure is being planned. Understanding maritime strategy means understanding when power becomes weakness. Stay informed. Stay ahead. Sea Doctrine, trade routes, missiles, and war, where even winners lose.